All right, welcome to our briefing. Today, we're diving into the critical rules that prevent absolute disaster on the open water. And look, these aren't just some friendly suggestions. They are the absolute bedrock of maritime safety. A whole system designed to keep thousands of tons of steel from running into each other.
It seems kind of impossible, right? You've got this vast, empty ocean, and yet ships collide way more often than you'd think. This isn't just bad luck. Nope. It's what happens when a critical chain of decisions gets broken. So how do we prevent the unthinkable? Well, it all starts with one single foundational rule.
And here it is, Rule 5, the constant watch. You can think of this as the absolute foundation of everything. Because, let's be honest, if you don't see the danger in the first place, none of the other rules even matter. Without a proper watch, every single ship out there, no matter how high-tech, is basically sailing blind.
Now, I know the official language can sound a little dry, but don't let that fool you. A proper lookout is so much more than just glancing out a window every now and then. It is a relentless 360-degree assessment using every single tool and every one of your senses.
I love this quote from our source material because it just gets to the heart of it. You are the living radar and sonar. That's such a powerful idea, isn't it? Your radar might show you a little blip on a screen, but it can't think. You are the processor. You're the living, breathing sensor that puts all the pieces together. You are the final and most important line of defense.
So what does that actually involve? Well, it's a full sensory experience. You're scanning the horizon with your eyes. You're listening for foghorns or other engine sounds, and you're constantly checking that against the data from your radar and other electronic systems. It's this state of constant alertness where you're always asking yourself one simple question: what has changed since the last time I looked?
Okay, let's move on to the next link in this safety chain, Rule 6. Because, seeing a potential problem is one thing, but having enough time to actually do something about it, that's a whole other ballgame. And it all comes down to speed.
So what is a safe speed? You might think there's a simple number for that, but you'd be wrong. There's no speed limit on the ocean. A safe speed isn't some number on a dial. It's a judgment call that you have to make and reevaluate, constantly, moment by moment. And that judgment call is based on a whole bunch of factors. Is it foggy, rainy, dark? You slow down. Is the shipping lane crowded? You slow down. But it also comes down to your own vessel. You have to know its personality. How long does it take to stop? How sharp can it turn?
Just think about it for a second. A massive tanker has a crazy amount of inertia. It can take miles, literally miles, to come to a complete stop. A little tugboat, on the other hand, can practically spin in place. So their safe speed in the exact same weather could be completely different. It's all about giving yourself enough time and space to make a move.
Okay, so you're on watch. You're moving at a safe speed, and you see another vessel on the horizon. Now comes the big question. Is it just another ship passing by, or are you two about to have a very, very bad day? Rule 7 is how you figure that out.
This is one of the oldest, most reliable tricks in the book. It's just simple geometry. Here's what you do. You take a compass bearing on the other ship. Let's say it's at 30 degrees off your bow. Then you just hold your own course and speed, wait a few minutes, and take that bearing again.
And there it is. This simple and frankly terrifying truth. If that bearing has not changed one little bit, it means you are both aimed at the exact same spot in the ocean. The rule is crystal clear. If there is any doubt in your mind, you have to assume a risk of collision exists, and you have to act.
Now, of course, modern technology makes this a lot easier. Things like radar and ARPA can automatically calculate what's called the CPA, or closest point of approach. This basically tells you the minimum distance you'll have between you and that other vessel, and a small CPA, that's a huge red flag.
So, you've confirmed the risk, it's real. Now you have to do something. Rule 8 is all about the how. See, it's not just enough to act. You have to act in the right way at the right time.
Any action you take has to be obvious, deliberate. You've got to do it early with plenty of time to spare, no last-second swerving. And, this is so important, your maneuver has to be big enough for the other vessel to actually see it, either with their own eyes or on their radar. You want to eliminate any and all confusion.
A series of tiny little course changes is probably the worst thing you can do. It's confusing, it just signals that you're uncertain. On the other hand, one single bold maneuver, a big turn, sends a message that is impossible to misunderstand. It's clear, it's effective, and most importantly, it's safe. And hey, don't forget, turning isn't your only option. Sometimes the best possible thing you can do is just change your speed. Slamming on the brakes by slowing down, stopping your engines, or even throwing them in reverse is a powerful and perfectly acceptable way to avoid a collision.
So when you put all of this together, it's so important to see that these aren't just 4 separate rules on a checklist, they're one interconnected system. A system that's designed for one single purpose: survival.
Let's just walk through it one more time. You maintain a constant watch so you can see the hazard. You travel at a safe speed to give yourself time to react. You use that constant bearing test to identify the risk. And finally, you act decisively to get out of the way. Each step buys you more time and more space, creating this buffer of safety all around your ship.
You know, at the end of the day, these rules are more than just regulations. They're a shared language, one that's understood by sailors all over the globe. It's a language of mutual respect and survival, and it's not spoken with words, but with clear, confident, decisive action. And knowing how to speak that language, well, that's what separates a safe voyage from a total disaster.